And welcome on everybody to the Overwatch Clash Season 8 Group Stage Week 1 matchup here between the Kyoto Koi Dragons and the Manchester Mulch Maxers. Our final game here of Week 1. Ali Booney joining me today is going to be Zaften. And Zaften, we got ourselves kind of two teams on the opposite ends of our power ranking spectrum. Our, amazing power rankings who were incorrect on their first 8 or so predictions have put the Koi Dragons pretty high and the Mulch Maxers fairly low in comparison. So do we expect another upset? Is PR wrong again? Or looking at his team roster, do you think we're seeing maybe what's expected here?
I'm not really sure. That's kind of the downside of me missing 3 to 4 seasons of Aurora Clash, is that I'm not very familiar with the teams here. I mean, I see Riddle with the Mulch Maxers. Riddle always been a real staple of the support line. And the only other player I really know here is Spicy. We've done quite a few tank duels during Pug days. And yeah, I feel like it will be probably up to the others on the teams to see, just kind of get a feel for it.
And the way I'm looking at it, I believe there's a ringer here for the Kyoto Koi Dragons as well. It's going to be Jack coming in here for Dire, so we're not quite seeing the full strength of Kyoto Koi Dragons, so it could lead to things getting a bit interesting, but I know the Mulch Maxers here are at full strength. I did a ring for them in a scrim, actually. Went fairly even in that scrim, won't say against it was who, but I think this team, I haven't seen them with Luca. I was ringing for a tank, so Luca is kind of the unknown factor here. I believe Luca, though, is off-rolling from support over onto tank here for the mid kind of diamond range, so we'll see how Luca handles the It's Spicy. I know that they, playing in Calling Our Heroes, get a lot of experience on this role, especially in scrims and comms, all that. A lot of, I guess, sort of rookies for Kyoto Koi Dragons as well with Spicy and Kernmaster. Kernmaster, another one to keep your eyes on. Kind of a GM all-flex kind of player, and did really well in the Mystery Heroes tournament. So we are waiting here for our teams to give us the R's to go into our first map of Lijiang Tower, which we've been seeing a lot of mixture of composition. We've been seeing the Risa. We've been seeing sort of divier looks with potentially like a Diva. Also, we haven't seen Hazard yet, which is very popular in OWCS.
Yep, and Spicy is, at least from Scrim, yeah, he is a very big Hazard fan. Played Hazard, when I played with him, played Ball. Probably not going to see Ball, but it is in his bag of tricks. And Tommy Slat is now tank. They're changing things up. All right.
Interesting. I mean, you move Spicy, whose main role is from tank over to DPS, but I mean, they played really well on the DPS in terms of the Pugs. I remember, them playing the Mayhem, the Blizzard world, especially with my Reinhardt. It was very fun. I know they're really good communicating, so it's probably a big boost for them in the DPS here as well. But Tommy Slat known more for the tank. Playing a lot of Sigma, though. I haven't really seen Tommy Slat play something that's, like a Winston or potentially like a Ball or maybe a Orisa. So maybe we're seeing a different kind of read from the Kyoto Koi Dragons here. I know they have to play around. This probably isn't what they really want with the... okay, now Spice is back on a tank.
Yeah,
they are making us sweat this one out, I guess, but...
From the Koi, they are planning on Spicy tank. Kern, this is what they wanted to play. So
I am shocked to see Kernmaster on DPS and Senemi on support. You just flipped their two main roles, but maybe just because of SR reasons with Dire not being there, they can't run this. Mulch Maxers are playing exactly what we expected with the Luca tank, Greg, Yeetmeister DPS line, Real Dog, and Naga. Spacemaker is Yeetmeister, and Nim is Naga Ina, if you remember those two names from all your years ago.
Yes, I have played with Naga.
So yeah, that's Nim.
Yes. Okay, so Nim is Naga, and it's pronounced Nim?
I don't really know. I just do it. Nim. I don't really know how to say it. Naga can maybe change our minds on that one later, but for now we're just going to go Nim, because it sounds fun.
And we're going in. Yeah, Nim is fun. I like that. All right. So I've also been playing as part of the uncasted game of the Hummingbirds. It was a Ramatra mirror. So that, also some Brawl. That's kind of like what I like about Lijiang, is you can really play anything. You can play to your strengths, and you will see success. And my game just crashed. Why? Oh, I'm out of memory. I'll be right back.
Sounds good. In the meantime, we can hold this down. And welcome back into the solo cast, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully this isn't too terrible for you. But looking at it, actually, Luca's going to start over onto the Zarya here for Legion Tower Garden, which is definitely interesting. Not something I thought we'd be seeing here, especially on this kind of map in Spicy. They will be on the Wrecking Ball to start things off. So, a very unorthodox matchup here already. And I mean, we do have the same DPS line for Thomas and Spacemaker now going to Genji and Tracer respectfully. So, a very different look for both of these teams here. As Curmaster will get in, but Nimit is already off the map here. Spicy goes in, and they're going to get that push over off towards the side. They do exchange 1-for-1, however, with both supports now gone for the Mulch Maxers. It's probably just going to be a matter of attrition here against the Wrecking Ball Specialist. It's going to be very hard to kind of sustain through all this. And there will be the Kyoto Koi Dragons taking our first cap here, maybe, but Yemeister going back in. Thomasite will clean that one up, and a Spacemaker now down. Luca trying to build this energy over on towards the point, walking on down the DPS line here. Curmaster, bit of an awkward situation, but no bubbles here now for Luca. As Senemi has found multiple kills here on the Kiriko in this first fight, and now we are getting a bit of a reset here, but Kyoto Koi Dragons will take our first cap. And Mulch Maxer still sticking with the Zarya for Gardens against the Wrecking Ball. I don't know if what Luca's got in the tank pool. I know that Luca is off-rolling on this role, so maybe Zarya is kind of their comfort zone here. But going against a Wrecking Ball, going against a Tracer to make it very tough here, especially a Senemi just locking heads on this Kiriko. Find multiple kills here, already close to this Casino Rush here. First ult on the board for either side. But Greg finally comes in and oh, you're back. Welcome in.
I didn't want you were on a roll. I didn't want to interrupt. I'm loading back in.
All right, sounds good. I'll keep going then for this fight. We'll get back in.
Yeah,
Casino over on the point. Luca walking has dismount charge here. Close to his Graviton Surgeon. Greg as well, but the DPS line. Greg and Spacemaker clean things up here. Spicy with the minefield down 4. An interesting use of the minefield here. Potentially a swap coming in through. Thomas is back, but Greg and Luca combining for multiple kills here. A whole team effort as multiple eliminations from multiple players coming alive there. And a bit of a waste they're using your Casino Rush as well as your minefield in a losing effort there for the Kyoto Koi Dragons. And nothing in response from the Mulch Max. A great fight for him.
Yep, definitely. I mean, I missed everything. I heard everything. I didn't have to leave the call, but it does seem like it was a very fast Kitsune. Feel like Senemi will probably be able to build up to another one. Ooh, that is a Bros headshot.
That's kind of a bit nasty on the flick there. Front kitchen Tommy slat down mid blink, and now 3 quick kills. Trying to get the back cap. There is Curmaster, but just gets stuck in their own slower. But Spacemaker hits him with that deflex. Semi Suzu perfectly timed there to keep him alive through that headshot from Greg. But now the DPS for the Kyoto Koi Dragons are being kind of asked to match Spacemaker and Greg right now, and Greg is coming on top right now.
Yeah, and we're seeing that Hazard, seeing the adaptation, realizing that this ball may not work. Pulse goes wide.
Yeah, we're going to use the Graviton Surge as well as the Overclock coming out here, trying to find any kills, but only one to find a blow is Curmaster finds Greg. The exchange here for DPS as Spicy trying to block in front of the window is simply too much damage for them to overcome there. And now the blade gets whipped out here. Spacemaker, you're not wanting to lose this fight. It's just a support line right now for Kyoto. On the board, Jack trying to 1v1 Real Dog, but that's not one you're going to win every day, son. This is Real Dog we're talking about. The commissioner himself has now claimed the fight, and now Lucas swaps over down to the Orisa to deal with the Hazard.
Yeah. I think there was a lot of good plays there. Pretty much Kern really doing a great job shutting down Greg early on in that fight, but just wasn't enough.
They are coming in here with Jack, having this beat ready to be unleashed here. No ultimates right now for the Mulch Maxers online, but a good slower will stop the engagement here as Jack has to use a bit of their cooldowns to get right back in. But Spicy dives on in. They're falling so weak here. They are still critical, and they're not going to be sustained. Jack holding the beat for next round, apparently, as they've already lost over on towards their Hazard. Tommy's like in the backline trying to find anything over here onto Greg, but Greg has a slide away, keeps himself nice and healthy. Spacemaker's in with a dash, but Greg and Spacemaker combine to find Jack. After that beat dissipates here, Senemi does try to bring on back here with the Casino Rush on point to 3-on-4 over towards the point, but Luca and Spice here are both out of the fray, so it's just DPS and supports for each of supports, but Spacemaker coming out on top, close to the blade here, as still just a back and forth at the very Tommy side with a big pulse bomb here coming up with 7% away. Greg just sliding back to the safety of their team, and somehow, despite the early pick, the beat sustains them long enough to get the picks, and they're going to get the flip, and Greg will get staggered.
Yeah, great stagger on Greg. I think what really helped was Tommy forcing out Nim's immortality really early in that fight before the beat even came out.
Yeah, I mean,
they really hampered the survivability or the long range survivability. Just that's such a powerful cooldown.
I mean, they walk into spawn and use the pulse bomb, but it finds nothing here. It says an ult now off the board here for Kyoto, as it's last fight territory here for both sides. But the ults here, Orbital Ray online. They're going to go ahead and use this downpour here from Spicy, but she's blocked by Luca with the Javelin spin. A 1-for-1 Space Maker for Jack, but Orbital Ray still online here for Real Dog, looking for the engage here. Spicy very low, will fall towards the Javelin, and now bit of a dive on both sides. Terror Surge for an extra bit of fortified damage reduction, but it's not really enough here for Luca, as now both tanks now off the board. Still, it's who can find more value here. Greg is going to use his overclock, finds one on Chimeras, finds two on his semi-tamatat! Stay a little too slow on the light side of Greg, as Greg has found 3 and might just claim the first round here for the Mulch Maxers. Trying to find a 4th over on towards Jack, but Real Dog will do the damage. And now Space Maker, a celebratory blade, is slicing dice on through Spicy's block, but Spicy just trying to play their life here, trying to sustain as long as they can. As Enemy TP's on in and has the Suzu, and now Spicy comes back and finds the kill over the Space Maker. However, it is just their stern on kill there over on towards the Hazard down that tank presence right now, as Luca is there with the help of Nins using this window as well. A lot of damage being put down through White Room as they cannot rotate through, and Simba cannot sustain through the damage.
Yeah, and Jack C9's at the very end, but he had to use under heavy fire.
Still a very close round.
Very close round, up 99-99. Great plays from Kern and Greg. This has been pretty much a sojourn duel last round. Definitely I've been using following around Tommy around the map. Great flanks from him. I feel like seeing a Symmetra TP coming out.
I wonder if they take the Sarissa straight to point or just out of spawn. They're going to go with a Ramatra look here instead, and it looks like Space Maker's going to take to over right to point. Greg swaps over on the Cassidy as well, so there's way more come fight on point if you dare with the Ramatra sustain, as Spicy is sticking over on towards his Hazard. If they can get in and find potentially a flank or a wall and split off somebody, could be big here, especially Thomas over on the flank over on towards the side. Maker flying very low here, walks right into Kermaster Slorb. How they do have lost Greg over on... Greg has found Jack on the flank. Your Tide Field online as well for Nim, keeping up through Thomas. That's aggressive play, aggressive poking, and it looks like Mulch Max have point presence for now, but Thomas that will get in there and be annoying over here on towards his back line. As still, the picks are heavily here.
Kill out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's going to be it here. The slash on dice in here from the Spicy, trying to block somebody off with this wall, but it's going to be a blocking Ramatra here from Luca, and just simply too much sustain. As somebody trying to keep the team alive, but it's not going to be nearly enough here, as the picks are finally from Mulch Max to Jack, coming in for a bit of celebration and death as Space Maker cleans more ult charge there.
Yeah, definitely a great change to the Ramatra. Ramatra really strong, able to just walk on the Koi Dragons really easily.
I mean, we're seeing that Thomas just can't quite find the pressure they need, especially with Baptiste Juno. It's just too much sustain in the backline for this Trace to really find that value that they need to push themselves through. Jack struggling to build the beat here, 40%. Nowhere near that one game picked twice early. Could be big here going later into the round, but Luca is getting pitched on both sides here. Decides to use that Nanoswarm on the ground to stave off the aggression here from Spicy, but they're just going to walk into a wall here. Kermaster found Real Dog on a bit of a flank here. Greg with the high noon will find Jack again. Still, they do get Greg. It's a 1-for-1 on both sides, 2-for-2 now, as Nim opts him to use this window, trying to melt down Spicy, but Spicy has the block online. In fact, gets the kill with those shards. And the little wall there as well, they can't touch.
Spicy living that fight on 9 HP, single digits. Just great work from Spicy to keep it alive, and good really punishing the Greg for... Although he did get a kill with Jack, that was a really greedy high noon.
I mean, we're seeing teams just not find value with their ultimates. They invested that window there as well and just lose 2 fights and lose the ult, and they use none on side of Kyoto Koi Dragon. A similar thing happened last match, or for last round, but they were flipped. We'll see if potentially script here is flipped as well. As 4 ults now online, ready to go for Kyoto Koi Dragons and the engage here. Spicy could potentially look for an early little downpour, but in fact, they're going to opt in to use that Casino Rush on top of the overclock. I mean, Luca's getting stuck in that downpour, in fact, in the middle of Casino Rush, but the Annihilation just keeps him away from using that ultimate, so a good exchange there from Luca. However, point is still in presence of the Kyoto Koi Dragons. The funny thing here, Real Dog has Overwatch rate online at 4%, but Greg falling very low. There's Spice trying to go in, but stays a little too late there, and the beat, like you said, not in time there for Spicy to stay alive and sustain. Real Dog still has the Overwatch rate they need, but looks like they're going to opt to hold into this one, as Space Maker is chasing Jack around spawn, but the numbers are here for the Mulch Max on the point, and they're able to hold on to the Ray. Again, we're seeing both these teams just throwing all bits away and not finding the value.
Yeah, one thing I do like is the change, Space Maker's change over to Genji. And we're seeing Tommy also changing out. One of the things I was going to talk about was kind of the lack of impact these Tracers have been having on the match here.
I mean, it's so tough walking into a Juno Bap or a Curie Lucio. You know, there's just nothing you can really stave down, and the tanks are just so brolic and able to stay alive. It's tough to find that pick. So, like you said, these swaps coming through his time over onto the May, trying to deal with Luca potentially, but finds Greg instead. So down this Cassie, down a decent amount of damage here. Orbital Ray still online here. Real Dog is going to win the 1v1 against Thomas with the help of the Blade. And now, speaking of Blade, here comes Space Maker. Slicing and dicing. We'll only find one, but with Genji Blade in 2025, that's probably max value you're going to find.
Yeah, and also just seeing from Luca's perspective, he's chasing down Jack on the Juno, gets javelined into him, and just gets bodied.
And we were just seeing the bodies coming and falling over on towards the point here. Spicer's trying to walk him past but a bit of a deflect there from Space Maker. Might have been through the window as well, and that's just simply too much damage to overcome as the Mulch Maxers walk over Kyoto, Koi Dragons here in Lijiang Tower, first map. Really, no sweat off their brow in that second point.
Yeah, a very dominant Ramatra play from Luca there. I know you were talking about earlier before the match that you weren't really sure how Luca was doing because you were scrimming in his ringing for him. But I feel like the worries were unfounded after that performance.
Yeah, you're probably correct on that one. Really no issues there, but you got to also wonder, like, what are some of the comp choices we're seeing out of the Kyoto Koi Dragons? You know, they're kind of playing what's meta in the OWCS, you know, playing a bit of that Hazard, that Juno Lucio, or the Kiri Lucio, but at the same time, it's just the sustain with that Juno, with that BAP, that they can't quite find the value. Immortality fields are going huge here for Nim. So we'll see if Kyoto Koi Dragons have any adaptations on the other side of this break. Don't go anywhere. Overwatch Clash will continue after this. And welcome in, everybody. Welcome back to Overwatch Clash Season 8 Group Stage Week 1 playoff here between the Kyoto Koi Dragons and the Manchester Mulch Maxers. We're going in here to King's Row for our second map, Zaften. We did see the brawly look here for the Mulch Maxers just seemingly overpower the Kyoto Koi Dragons, really, no matter what decision they
really
made.
Did. Ramatra is a powerful piece, and it's really easy to execute. You just say, okay, we're going on this person, and then you death ball, and it's easy to execute. It's great for early weeks when teams are still finding their ground, their footing. And we saw that to good success. Other developments, Koi Dragons have swapped Tommy to tank and Sanemi to DPS.
This is, I think, the comp I was more or less expecting out of the Kyoto Koi Dragons today. Because, I mean, Senemi was doing really good on the Kiriko, especially on Garden. Finding those headshots, finding those early picks. But get that guy on some DPS, and he might just bring them over the finish line here. I'm interested to see how the Mulch Maxers will use their substitutions as well. Because they have Etc. coming in here to play DPS here for the Mulch Maxers. But we know that this map is more... the kind of a long range, long hallway. You can play that more hard hit scan, which Etc. is known for. That Cassidy, you know, that Sojourn. But of course, you have Greg to carry up one of those. So just pick the other one, Etc. and run wild. But Spacemaker, a little limited maybe on the hero pool. A lot of Genji. So potentially King's Road is not what they want to be playing here. But with Spicy back over onto the DPS, I expect the Mei to come out. I know that I think they can play other things, but their Mei was, I mean, you can speak, you're in the pugs there, that their Mei was a brutal thing to walk into, just fantastic on the walls.
Greg, wait, who was on Mei? Oh no.
Spicy on the pugs?
Spicy. Oh, Spicy Pug Mei. I think meant like last time. I was like, yes, there was a Mei last time, but I don't think anyone.
Nope, I'm saying the Spicy swapping over to Mei is gonna be big here for him on the second map because of how good it was in pugs.
Yeah. Most times I was in with Spicy on pugs, we were just tank 1v1ing, which was really fun. Well, not 1v1ing. He had amazing teams. Shout out to Jess. Jess is awesome.
Hey, they got the W yesterday, or 2 days ago, whatever it was.
Yeah, and you're right. Spicy is on that Mei. We're seeing a good old-fashioned Ramatra brawl.
And I also like seeing this. You put Kermaster back over onto the main support, which I know is their main role, and they have a lot of experience on this Lucio in shot calling. So that could kind of be... We saw a bit of discombobulation, I want to say, from the Kyoto Koi Dragons there in that first round. They really didn't seem to have had a plan most times.
Are you getting spammed prepared to attack?
I am not getting spammed prepared to attack.
Okay.
I think if you hold tab, that goes away, but maybe. I could be wrong.
Oh, that actually worked. Thank you.
Yeah, but...
And before we start, I do want to call out Greg on the Sombra. Very interesting.
Playing a more divey style, it appears, here. With I mean, because they know they have Etc. who plays a lot of Widowmaker primarily, and they might be sticking with that, so it looks like more of a kind of a spam look, actually.
And Luca's changing.
Luca will go swap over onto the Orisa here, and Greg Freya has come out. We haven't seen Freya here in quite a few matches, actually. Freya has been sort of an honorable don't pick, almost, it appears, for some teams, but this one, no shame here for the Mulch because they want to win.
Lucas locked in, but his team is doing a great job at freeing him.
Yeah, I mean, it's an Orisa, right? So what are you going to melt down the Orisa when you got cooldowns? That's literally impossible to do. Immortality Field is forced here pretty early, though, from Real Dog, as it's up to Etc. to find an opening pick, and they do, finding Spice, and so now this choke is completely unprotected from a Mei wall, and the Zen Bat can now walk in and get this angle set up. A enemy is there with Charge through Hotel, trying to find an opening pick, but a nice job from Lucas sends them packing. A little bit of early checkout there for Senemi on the Sojourn. Can't quite stay. And right now, the space is being taken by the Mulch Maxers fairly effectively.
Yeah, and they have not a lot of healing cooldowns to really take back this space. In fact, Greg is on just free shooting on them.
I mean, though, but with Etc. down, now the sightlines are completely isolated. Senemi has found both DPS here. Especially taking that Freya down. They're just going to walk down the high ground, force them away. Etc. will swap over onto Cassidy. Do we see any more swaps? Because, I mean, like, the Zenyatta maybe get trance off, but at the same time, now you're back more of a brawly comp. The Zen is just a target for Thomas to walk on.
Yeah. Completely agree there. Looks like they're sticking to the Zen.
Maybe just playing for a trance, or maybe like or Discord orb on somebody, but if Senemi takes your head out before, it's not going to be that worthwhile here.
And Senemi getting up to level 2, getting those perks online. Gonna make this overclock even more dangerous.
Especially walking into both support ultimates here as well. A nice little nanoswarm there, bringing down multiple members on the Casino Rush early inside. Luca trying to back him up. They were lost 2 members, and now Spicy just tanks that little Terror Surge there with the ice block. They're gonna use the window here as well from Real Dog, down multiple members. Maybe tries trying to keep the tank alive, but right now it just seems like a waste of an ultimate as Real Dog going to get staggered out here as well in the corner. They're going to take his lunch money. We'll find one on the Kermaster, but
Riddle did it. Let's go. Go Riddle.
I mean, Kern will get back in plenty of time, though.
Yeah, it is a Lucio. Yeah, even if it was someone else, Lucio would have just taxied him back. But they are temporarily down to Lucio.
But they have
See what
4
they can
ults.
do with this smidge of opportunity.
Kermaster's already back, and it's still 4 ults. To win that fight for that cheaply, just using, the Casino Rush is actually a huge form here on the defense because there's only 1 minute left. And there's only really been 2 fights here. The Mulch are playing this way too slow with this BAP, with the Zenyatta. They're just not able to get in and get into position. Greg just melted as Senemi, again, is just stuck up in this hotel and not being forced to move. The trance does come in, but there's really nothing to sustain through as Nim takes a nice shot there. And now here comes the flanker for Senemi in the back line. The Blizzard on top of it, etc. does have the high noon, but there's just simply too many bodies here. Luca trying to body block for Nim. They're in the Blizzard, but not nearly enough. I mean, Greg will find one on the escape. Oh, but
Got 2 on the escape.
Okay, Greg is kind of popping off here. Now here comes swaps here from Mulchmarks. They might get a touch here. They might get a tick or 2 actually here.
Yeah, they might. This is their chance. Greg needs to push up.
Greg again finds a 3rd headshot kill on the Mei. The beat here from Kermaster on the engager. They know they have to stay in here with Thomaslet with United in here as well, but Kermaster has fallen. Now it's a 3-on-5 over towards the point, and Thomaslet just melted through that annihilation with the help of the window from Real Dog. And that's going to be a point garnered at just at the 11th hour. 2 seconds remaining, 1 second, and no overtime. Yay, 0.1 second capture.
Yep, I will say, Greg has been pulling. Granted, it's only been 2 maps, but Greg has been pulling some absolute heroics for this Mulchers team. Mulch Maxers team.
The Mulch Max. I mean, they're Greg maxing. They're just Greg maxing.
Yeah, they're Greg maxing.
Gotta love to see that. And now you're walking in with no ult on any side except for this Casino from Jack. So Jack has to land this really well-timed Casino to stave off any aggression potentially and hold this choke. Because still, with 2 minutes in point B, not a guaranteed capture whatsoever in King's Row. Here comes the Casino out here from Jack over on towards the cart. Exotica, I see over towards the book room, but he's not going to check out a book and check out his life here. And that might just do it there for that fight, just trying to not have any more kills here, any more staggers. They've lost your battlefield as well, but Luca will stave him off with a Now Swarm. But now the chokehold begins with the Mei.
Yeah. Really liking the great disengage there, although they do lose each, etc. The Mei walls and from Greg, of course, really helping keep the staggering to a minimal from the Mulch Maxers.
Spicy opting to use that Mei wall very defensively, trying to block up the high ground advantage here from etc. But right now, they're just going to take this away. They don't have that utility. Kermaster will get away from the help. A nice wall there will isolate Luca. Window out from Real Dog, etc. is still here trying to find a final blow. Still 1-for-1 exchange here on the defense. Luca has found multiple kills with just punching around through the window. Doesn't count, but still opting to use that annihilation here as well for the cleanup. That's going to do it. Now 55 seconds.
And
Probably last
team-wide
territory.
Yep, great team-wide. Greg does go down early. However, just Luca with that amazing annihilation, and also punch plus window equal big damage. So that definitely just helps open it all up for the Mulch Maxers.
But now, 30 seconds remaining here. Big ult advantage coming out here, especially as Senemi can find an opening pick on somebody. Does force out Luca's form fairly early, but Kermaster falls. 9% to beat. Can't build that in time. Now Nim with a huge advantage here for the Mulch Maxers. They just cleanly disengage, but I mean, it spoke too soon, etc. Just crossed the street, caught jaywalking there by the ops.
Blizzard comes out.
And with Thomaslet frozen themselves, it's Spicy. They cannot pop the annihilation in time for the extra blocking. And Semi trying to bring it back over the finish line there with that shot over on etc. Not bringing nearly enough as Kermaster and Jack hold this forward almost 4-point C here on King's Row.
Yep, and so many defensive cooldowns just to make sure Senemi and Kern don't get staggered. We see Amp, we see Suzu just at the end of that fight, which really allows the Mulch Maxers to really keep pushing.
I mean, they've only already lost 1 fight since Greg made the swap over on towards the Mei. Etc. has the high noon and the beat as well. So much sustain for this Cassidy. Trying to find a blow. Thomaslet frozen up to help the perk. Blizzard from Spicy comes on and does lock down Luca. Both Ramatras frozen solid and taken down. And Spicy and Senemi still, it is 1-for-1 here. Band for band. Both these teams as Greg and Semi trying to bring it back. And Kermaster almost gets the boot, but etc. with the roll. Unk still got the reaction time, but doesn't have the dodging capabilities from it. Spicy. And now with 30 seconds remaining.
Really helping stabilize there. God, I hate that Mei passive. It's like, why? We took it out of the game for a reason.
And it was better for it. The game was a lot better for it.
Yes. Anyways, back to the game. Let's see. I do see Kern fishing for a boop. He is up there.
Oh, the boop into the slow field there, as well as an ice on top of it. A set play coming out here, the beat to try to stave off, but Jack does not get it in time as Annihilations are exchanged 1-for-1 as support lines are falling at the site of this Ramatra. 5 seconds remain, etc. on the Cassie. The stall Cassie of all things, caught in a slow as well as a boop, cannot get there in time. And 33 meters is all they're going to have to get here on point C, but still a very hobo affair here for Mulch Maxers.
Yeah. I have a question about Etc's name. Is it etc? I've been calling him ETC, like the Blizzard band, Elite Tauren Chieftain. I thought that's what it was a reference to.
We have always called ETC, Elliot, etc. At least I have, and he's never corrected me before, so.
All right.
I think you just call him whatever I don't think he really cares. I think you can just call him Unk, you can call him ETC, you can call him Fred. I don't think he really cares.
Is his name Fred?
No, it is not.
Oh.
But you can just...
I don't know. I don't know his name. I've never met, outside of Flambeau and Yak, I've never met and Teddy. I've never met anyone else in this league in person.
Oh, Jack Moira. What are they cooking here? Oh, never mind. We had fun for 2 seconds.
Work. Hummingbirds, my team. Let's go. We ran Lucio Moira yesterday to a map 5. It went really well. Just the ability for Moira to, especially if you're going into a dive team or a team with a lot of poke, just being able to escape from bad positioning makes Moira quite a good asset in these types of matches.
But now Greg is not going to swap this time. Going to stay over on towards this Mei here. Looking
I'm liking Nim staying on the Lucio. I think Lucio Bap is a far more stable backline than Bap Zen for King's Royal. The increased maneuverability that it gives really can be a great asset.
Just rotating quickly through the hotel, though, but Greg cuts off with a wall. It is time set, though, but it has the blocking online and just barely holds on to get back in the safety of the hotel. Senemi is on his off angle here as well, has the shots ready to lined up here. The wall is going to land, but not going to isolate too many members here. Early block forced out of Spicy as Jack on the Moira has a decent amount of charge towards the Colton ready to go. However, etc. first to find the blow over on Senemi, taking both DPS now out of the fight as a quick reset is forced right now as Mulch Maxers continue to hold in defense.
Still got a tick off of that. And, such a late kill. Kern almost surviving there, but gets chased down by Riddle and Nim.
Yeah, I mean, Greg having a great showing right now over on towards this Mei. I know that Greg likes to fancy himself as a hit scan legend, but maybe the Mei is now in their hero pool. Who really knows? But Kermaster is really close to his beat here. In fact, 40% over Nim, so that could be something I'm not expecting here. A nice wall does come out here. Do they opt to use the beat? Oh, they just try to get away. Oh, the Ajax comes in as Luca punches Kermaster.
No.
So down that huge advantage. Now both support also coming in here as Botansk's already down. Luca has come in and found 3 final blows this fight. And the Blizzard from Greg here on top just to ice it down on his enemy. Perhaps a bit of an overextension there from the Mei to use that ultimate. But, I mean, they use both support, so why not let it fly?
Yeah, both support ults were used. So it seemed like it was not that big of a loss economy-wise, but still probably a bit overkill to make sure to kill Senemi. Well, to stagger Senemi.
Yeah, get that Sojin out of here. We don't want to deal with that. Just throw everything we got him. But Jack falls here early. Caught in the middle of nowhere. And 2 quick kills here as Killer Koi Dragons have to reset. As once again, this defense is looking so good. Ever since Greg swapped to the Mei, I don't think they've lost like a fight or more than like 3 or 4.
Yeah. Also just the Nim, kind of a silent hero here, really allowing Greg and Luca the speed control to just outmaneuver the Kyoto Koi Dragons. There we go.
And the thing
I'm
is,
still learning names.
Curvemaster's will hold on to his, or Nims will hold on his beat, as Curvemaster doesn't have theirs either. Luca kind of got in no man's land, though. Look at all the assists on that one. They want Luca dead. Want everybody on fire on that man. And now, when Nim does have the beat, they decide for the recontest here, but the slow orb, or the Nanoswarm on the back, a lot of ults being popped here, etc. With the Hyden finds Curvemaster. They're making it work. Setting me 1 HP, but the Suzu in time. However, not in time for the window to come on down. I mean, Tomset trying to make the space for the team with the Annihilation, trying to break him back, but the window from Real Dog is simply too good, too well placed on the point, as those remaining members can make use of it. And now, one fight territory and no ults to use here for Kyoto.
And Greg's already back to the Blizzard. Right when they need it. Two ticks, they only need 1 tick. Spicy on the Pharah. Interesting.
They were on fire last fight too, and they just...
Yeah, that didn't really work out considering that you got flashbanged, but we'll see if it can see some long-term success in this next fight.
That better. It's the last fight of the whole round here. Nice and out here early from Luca. Real Dog, very weak, has to rotate away, but Greg able to hold on to his Blizzard for any last contesters. Annihilation from Luca starting to expire here. Jack does have the Casino Rush for last fight. See, side to opposite one in. 3 seconds they have a touch. They do come in here, but they've lost their Pharah already. The beat goes off for Curvemaster officially this time, but has just right into a Blizzard from Greg. As Semi slides in on towards Phone Bullet, but makes a call right to the Mortarium. And right now, with Nim being the only casualty here for the Mulch Maxers, they're going to hold here, a full hold. 96.3% is all they're going to grab. And now Mulch Maxers are at match points.
Yeah, I don't think, given the powering, anyone expected this to be so decisive. I mean, well, actually, it wasn't really decisive. The first map was quite close. But this map, less so. It seems like... need some words, need some vocabulary. Give me a sec. You talk.
Yeah, we can talk about it real quick. I mean, Semi going 26-7, trying to bring it, but Luca with a 30-6 scoreline, 14k damage on the Ramatra, had a great showing. This rookie showing that perhaps I was a problem in that scrim. Who really knows? Perhaps Mulch Maxers are goated. But while you decide your vocabulary, we'll go ahead and take a quick map break. We'll see you guys on the side of this break. Don't go anywhere. Overwatch Clash continues after this.
These beats are the purest. Move it, move it.
And welcome back, everybody, to the Overwatch Clash Season 8 Group Stage Week 1 matchup here between the Kyoto Koi Dragons and the Manchester Mulch Maxers. Manchester Mulch Maxers now here at match point, and we are going into our third and potentially final map of the series, which is going to be New Junk City. Now, I don't really understand why we keep going to these brawl maps. We've seen Kyoto Koi Dragons just cannot hold up.
I agree with you completely. Luca has been pretty much just wiped the floor with Tommy. Spicy actually did put up a pretty good fight against Luca. So I think the only change to teams is that Spacemaker is back in over ETC. And there's been no changes player or position wise from the Kyoto Koi Dragons.
Yeah, Spacemaker probably able to play more of that Genji look here on this map specifically. A lot of more room to roam around than on King's Row here, but maybe we just see Spacemaker lock in to the Cassidy, you know. But I mean, the Kyoto Koi Drag is not making any swaps here, sticking with the lineup we saw in King's Row, but the Lijiang Tower comp seemed a little more competitive. I don't know if...
Yeah, I really was liking Spicy on that tank there. Anyway, so as we're getting into this map, what do you want to see from the Kyoto Koi Dragon if they're not changing up their players?
Don't take the ram
like
mirror. Don't take the ram mirror.
Yeah, that's actually probably good advice. Do not take the ram mirror. Do not do it. Luca will mess you up. You will get punched. No one likes getting punched. People have plans. Everyone has a plan until you get punched in the face. Mike Tyson.
And they're taking the ram mirror. They got punched in the face and now they got a concussion. So
yeah,
I mean they're going with Sombra here maybe.
Matter. I do like the Sombra. I think Sombra could see some play here.
I think if you just play the Sombra more or less to hack a support or maybe just Luca, try to get them out of the front line, potentially could work because we saw the May.
It is interesting seeing a mirrored support line. The Lucio Moira. Both sides rolling out on it.
Sure, why not?
Hummingbirds ran that yesterday pretty much for multiple maps. Either some form of Lucio and either like Moira, Ana, or Kiri.
But an early roll here from Senemi as the slow will stop that from getting all the momentum they really need. But just look at the very aggressive, fast play here with the Reaper, with the Moira, with the Lucio, as Spacemaker's got into the backline, made the space. Still, it's going to be a 1-for-1 exchange here. A Lucio for a Cassidy. Thomas trying to stay alive through the pressure in the front line here. The slow from Luca will stop that, but a response slow as well. But Spacemaker on the Reaper has found the final blows they need to open this fight right up and potentially get the first cap going, and that will be the case. As Thomas just trying to win away with their life here, as Kyoto Koi Dragons have no answer for the Reaper in the back line.
Yep, we do see some good. Spicy is getting hacks and is getting some kills. We saw the kill onto Nim. But also at the beginning, we just saw Greg put up the wall and Tommy getting turned into a punching bag.
Spacemaker does go in, get a little critical here, but Real Dog has a healing resources to keep the Reaper alive here. Greg falling low, but has a block as well. But again, Spacemaker gets in the backline with the Wraith for free and finds an open pick on his enemy. And with two quick ones, the hack is really good to do nothing but make it a little bit of time annoying here for Luca. But right now, the Sombra's not finding the answers with this Reaper in your backline getting the kills.
I was with Spicy's point of POV there. He just watches Spacemaker like casually approach his backline, is shooting him, gets the virus, and can do nothing as Spacemaker just blasts enemy's brains out. It's just like, man.
There's really nothing they got here. Jack is close to Coalescence here, but Real Dog will be able to match. But they're walking into a Blizzard and Annihilation. It's going to be very tough to break this open unless we can open and pick from either of these DPS. But Greg does throw in the Blizzard. Splits off multiple targets here. Jack and Thomas in tough position. Currentmaster does get back in time to keep him alive, but they're going to opt in to use the Coalescent. But the wall will separate the Ramatra from the Coalescent beam. Thomaslat and Luca both using Annihilation. Thomaslat finding a little less value as the enemy has fallen. Still, the numbers are here for Kyoto Koi Dragons, and the point does flip. But here comes Spacemaker with the Reaper ultimate, with the Double and finds Curmaster. Nim is getting sucked from the side from Jack, but right now, nothing they can really do except just try to survive as long as it possibly can. Curmaster died with beat. Annihilation had expired here. Thomaslat has yet another use of the Ramatra form, but with Spicy back here, has the EMP. It lands on a 4, but there's no follow-up.
Everyone's dead. Oh, Kern gets a follow-up. Let's go, Kern.
That's really all they're going to get from that ultimate from the EMP. I mean, Spicy probably going to swap here. I don't really know.
No swaps. Wait, looks like
they're standing
Spicy's
still.
Not moving. They might be talking it out.
Nope, they're not standing still. They're not in spawn. They're standing out of spawn. Okay. Yep, they're sticking with it.
It does seem that, like, at that fight, the beginning of that fight, Spacemaker just completely flanks Spicy, gets him in the back. So, definitely we're not seeing what we need to be seeing from this Sombra pick.
It's happened. Every single fight so far has been Spacemaker just walks behind you and shoots you in your back and you just can't respond. Sending me complete isolate here. Doesn't get the beat from Curmaster. It's going to be 1-for-1 exchange on the DPS, though, so the Reaper finally caught off guard, but Real Dog has the Coalescence on top of Nin's beat. So much sustain coming through right now for the Mulch Maxers as Tarzat gets isolated once again with the May, with the real to a boot from Nim. And just Spicy just trying to get away, but caught in the middle of their translocate. Curmaster does get the boop on towards Luca, but it's just going to be for the stat sheet. They get the point flip in the meantime, though.
Yeah, they did get some percentage on the board. Spicy somehow makes it out of that fight alive. And yeah, it is that thing where team gets split up. Luca and the Mulchers are just this death ball that, sure, you have these pieces that can kind of take some pieces off of it, but even then, it's still a death ball.
Point given away here. Opting to hold on to that high ground position here, but Luca flying so low. Right now with Jack building coalescence here. I mean, I'm surprised to see him take such a slow engage here right now from the side of the Mulch map. He's going to finally go into Space Maker, TP and send me with the high noon, though. Townside gets frozen up in the Blizzard. Gets caught out with Nim going down as well. Real Dog 1 HP getting chased down here, down by Jack. Potentially both supports down here for Mulch map, but somehow Real Dog stays alive through all this. Real Dog 1 HP escapes with their life. Is still alive through the fight, and now 10% though for the Koi Dragons. They can make it flip.
Mm-hmm. And we are seeing some changes. Enemy is going over to the Sojourn.
EMP almost to your Annihilation to match, but you're gonna walk into a Coalescence, into a Death Blossom again. With Secret Space Maker decides to play.
And they've spotted out Spicy just with the shotguns. Hellfire shotguns just shooting across the map. Found Spicy.
The Sniper Reaper unmasked the Sombra, but Real Dog with the Coalescence Annihilation match here from Timeless that Greg is now gone.
They're looking for Kern. Found Kern.
Yeah, hiding. Had beat as well, dying with that ultimate here as Kermaster can't use it on time. They have EMP ready to go. Do they hold on to it this time, or they decide to again invest early? I think they should hold on to it. They have one more fight. If they can get a good numbers advantage here, but Jack might get staggered.
Not might is. He's getting staggered. We knew he was getting staggered as soon as the 3 people spotted him. But yeah, this Reaper is just getting so much.
Spice doesn't get the beats
value.
And dies with EMP. Hiding around the
and
corner, and
he gets
now
caught out by the Reaper again.
This Reaper's getting way too much value for my liking. I'm gonna be real right now. Okay, Aura farming on top of the box. Aura farming finds 2.
Yes, Aura farming. He didn't need to do that. He just decided to. And he shrugs. And he's emoting.
Nah, Aura farming.
Nah.
In my Aurora Esports.
Aura
Esports. I can't believe
it. Aura farming. And we see Tommy ballin'. He's decided against a May that is a perfect time to be ballin'.
I mean, the Ball Somber should get way more value as well. You're just kind of negating the Reaper's presence in front of the front line here. But Spicy again caught out. Spicy still 1 HP. Has EMP ready to be unleashed. Do they decide to opt into it here, looking for the targets? They're all kind of scrunched up here in this little corner.
Riddle
is active here.
Coalescence again.
Goes for the EMP. 4 members. The beat out from Nim, but they've lost Spacemaker in the meantime. And now Luca isolated over on towards the point. Point still hasn't flipped for either side yet. Thomas holding their ground. The Oko's out from Real Dog as well as a Blizzard. But the point did flip again here for the Kyoto Koi Dragons. Thomas with a minefield already. Throws it down over onto the point.
To be honest.
Oh no.
But yeah.
Stuck in the slow, looking at a May. I know that feeling is a wrecking ball.
Yeah, it's a sad day of being ball.
Though, you did get out 4 ults, basically, for the Kyoto Koi Dragons, so a good sign from them. They're walking their own coalescence with their overclock. And nothing on their side.
I would like to point out, Riddle has 14k healing right now. And second is Jack with 5k.
That is correct. And they have the same amount of damage.
Yeah.
Love to see it. We do get an open pick on Thomas down the wrecking ball now. The point does flip. They did get a quick little recontestation. Nim is 1 HP, but Nims cannot get out. However, they've already lost Jack, and now we have Luca just donk walking down Sentiment here over towards the side, trying to keep him distracted as long as possibly can. The point is still in favor right now of Kyoto Koi Dragons. Hasn't flipped just yet. Spicy coming back in for a little touch.
Nice.
Real Dog is down. I mean, Thomas is able to survive for a decent amount of time here, build some percentage. But Spicy once again caught in the invis, and now Jack is way behind enemy Lions, just trying to get out to the spawn.
And looks like he will succeed. Question mark. Think so.
I think he's fine. But look at this. They're going to go fast to the engage here with the Annihilation with the Blizzard.
And it looks like we are finally seeing a swap off the Sombra, but is it too little too late?
Senemi using the overclock here. The fight really even breaks out. Blizzard at the choke. Do not allow them to touch for this one. Jack has used the damage or tries to allow Kermaster 2% away from this beat. Could be what gets him back
really
in here, but Spacemaker with the Death Blossom has found value for it. Do we get more Aura farming live on the Twitch chat? We'll see. Nim is down. Can't quite build last percent of that beat. The point does flip, but here comes the Aura on the point.
And
Finds
a
2.
Brutal double kill. Great. Amazing Death Blossoms from space. 2 of them.
Oh, sad
And
minefield.
last second minefield. Oh, Luca.
Luca does feed one
I
over
don't
the
know
stat
if Luca
sheet.
meant to do that. I mean, no one's going to touch, so it's fine. But yeah, that's the match.
A quick little 3-0 here for the Mulch Maxers, and once again, PR team is in shambles. But a good start here for Mulch Maxers. We didn't really know what they would look like with Luca or with Greg. Both these rookies sort of an unknown. But looks like this team is very solid in terms of just overall game plan, as well as just the ability to flex between multiple compositions. We've seen a good decent amount of look from the support and the DPS line. Luca maybe on the Aurora a lot, but it was working, so why swap? So I think some GG's all around from everybody there, as we have to decide our match MVP for the Mulch Maxers. And I really could give to anybody, so I'll let you just choose this for us. I got nothing.
I mean, at first, like the first 2 maps, I was really going to say Greg or Luca, but in the 2 maps that Space Maker was in, he was very effective. On the Genji, he had multiple multi-kill blade strings, just was untouchable in New Junk C. So I think we have to give it to Space Maker.
Sure, we'll get to the Aura farm, and we'll get to the Aura Max. We'll get we can bring him in for a quick interview here as well. And there, we're in desk. We're not in production 1. Unfortunately, I've done this now 2 games in a row. There they are. There is Space Maker, our MVP
our
of the
homie
series. Congrats on the quick 3-0.
Yeah.
We gave it to you because you Aura farmed on Reaper with 2 Death Blossoms. That's basically it. You Aura Max.
Also the Genji. The Genji was pretty hot. You were great on Genji.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's literally Greg said, like, wait, why do you have so much aura on Reaper? And then I just hit the emote right after he said that. I was like, wait, okay.
We had cams on you as you did that.
Oh, thank you so much for that.
Yeah, we saw it.
Crazy.
Everyone saw it.
Oh my god.
Crazy aura from you.
Yeah, so I guess aside from the Aura here, Space Maker / Meister, coming into this game, the Mulch Max were fairly low on the power rankings for the power rankings team, and then the Koi rankings fairly high. Was that extra motivation, or is that just it's pretty some power rankings? We really don't care. Let's go farm some Aura. What was coming in here? What was the vibe?
Well, we have the greatest player in the world in Greg, so that gives me a lot of confidence, So I wasn't really worried at all coming into this. He's always got my back.
Yeah, sorry. I need to practice talking and understanding facilities. But yes, I was trying to say, Greg was nasty on that May. There's no other way to describe it. It was nasty.
It was, soon we're cooking up a Junkrat play for him, so I can't wait for that.
Couple more scrims. We'll see that coming out. But let's see.
That's
I
awesome,
was trying to bring up your group here so we could talk about who you might be facing here soon.
I think we played Jack, maybe. Wait, no.
Did we get some free scouting here for the Shervs? Did Jack destroy the sanctity of our league by coming to ring in for the team he's facing next week? I can't believe this. This would be terrible. You guys are facing the Shervs next week. That should be a really good game now, because
I think it's going to be another rematch of the Moiras here,
Yeah, we've been seeing Moira.
The Real Dog versus the Jack Moira. I mean, we also have the stats, so we're not gonna flame too hard. But Real had more damage and 3 times the healing on Moira compared to Jack. So it was a good showing from Riddle on that character. We know Real Dog is a really good mechanically skilled player with the Baptiste, with that Juno, but I guess turns out the brain whips out the Moira, it still works.
No, it was really Luca's comms helped us so much with everything on that map.
Yeah, I mean, next you guys will play the Suspicious Serbs, and then you play the Green Hill Guppies, so you get the Vin showdown in week 3 as well with McChicken.
Yeah, I'm actually swapping accounts and 1v1ing Vin on Ron, just as a sneak peek,
That you gotta right. You're not. Wait, are you? I mean, you gotta Ryan dual Vind. It's what you have to do. It's a right. Everyone has to at one point Ryan dual Vind.
And then we will all post the "I believe in you, Mr. Supremacy" image after the owning happens. Surely you won't let us down.
Yeah, surely. Yeah, sure. I believe.
So
Oh, gosh.
why don't you go back and celebrate your team? But of course, El Clasico. If you could not be MVP of your game, who would you give it to and why? And I'm going to give you a special extra credit question. You cannot choose Greg because he's a high SR DPS player.
Oh,
Little too easy, especially considering they're the
little
best player
too
ever.
easy.
So you got to give a
Well,
shout out to the other ones, the other four players.
I think, you know, me and Naga have so much chemistry going back to maybe the second greatest team behind this one in history. So I give it to Naga, probably.
Nice.
And we'll take that answer.
Definitely. Yeah,
Yeah,
I like
We'll
that
accept
answer.
it.
of course. Well, of course. All right.
And yeah, with that being said, we'll go ahead and send you back to your team to celebrate the 3-0 win. And best luck in the future. We hope to see you at Aurora Farm next week and beyond.
All right. Thank you.
That was our
All
MVP
right.
Space Maker, and yeah, that's gonna do us here tonight. In fact, week 1 is now officially all in the books, and we can all say, PR team, you really suck at this. I don't think they got a single match right, maybe one, but a bit rough showing there for our PR team. But hopefully they can bounce back after seeing a match on their belt.
Yeah.
Any words to close us out here before I send us away?
I guess good night, Aurora Esports. We'll be seeing you when we see you.
And I think we might have one thing booked here. Let me check the match time final real quick. We do have 2 games, or actually 3 games, are going to be scheduled here. So we have one next Friday, the June 20th, Wednesday
I know
the 18th,
one of my games.
and Saturday the 21st. So the next time we'll be seeing you is Wednesday the 18th at 10 p.m. CST for the Sussy Spartans and Zimbabwe Zebras. We'll keep you guys posted. Of course, check the Discord. All of our socials linked below. With that being said, that's been Zaften. I've been Booney. Stay safe, stay healthy. Have a great racing, buddy.